Hello, everybody. I'm Arnau Vidal, mycotoxin expert in Innovat. The last month, the RISE program has been successfully introduced in many farms from all over the world. And for the reason, we think that it can be interesting to share some of these cases. Every month, one case will be selected and detailed to explain how this program works. The first case is from a country from the Southeast Asia, where lactating sows were evaluated. And here we see the summary of this case after applying the 4 steps. So first of all, the risk was quantified. After analyzing more than 60 different raw materials using rapid test technologies, it was possible to detect high concentrations of aflatoxin B1 and zearalenone. Then the impact was measured, and it was possible to find the correlation with the quantified risk. For example, everyone knows that zearalenone, as an estrogenic mycotoxin, can produce a lot of reproductive disorders. All this information was used to build the mitigation strategy. So first of all, the mycotoxin binder was replaced by the detoxification technology called SNS, and then a biomonitoring program was established. Every week, from 2 different farms, feed and blood samples were analyzed. Then, with the results from the biomonitoring program, the efficacy of the strategy was evaluated, and it was possible to see a reduction of the total mycotoxin exposure, reduction of the mycotoxin levels in the blood, and an improvement of the health status of the studied animals. Here we can see a summary of the biomonitoring program results for the 2 studied farms, 2 weeks and 3 weeks after introduction of SNS. We see that in all the cases, the risk in the feed was low, also in the blood, where first of all, there was only 2 mycotoxins in blood 2 weeks after SNS introduction at low concentration, and only 1 mycotoxin 3 weeks after SNS introduction. Tonesonic acid, a highly frequent emerging mycotoxin, was completely removed from the bloodstream 3 weeks after SNS introduction. All this protection against mycotoxins was translated into a better health status, and the veterinarians from these farms said that even 5 days after SNS introduction, the symptoms from the animals started to be removed. So, as big conclusions from this case, we can say that the RISE program reduced the mycotoxin exposure, also reduced the mycotoxin levels in blood, as it was already detected in scientific studies. Even in this case, the reduction was from emerging mycotoxin as tonesonic acid. Also, the health status of the animals improved, and the application of this program allowed to evaluate the efficacy of the mycotoxin control strategy. You will find all the details from this case in our website, where you can download a PDF file where there are all the results in big detail. And even if there is any doubt, please don't hesitate to contact me. So thank you very much, and I see you in the next month to explain another successful story of the RISE program. Thank you.